Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Ho ho ho. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call familiar face, Detective Gumshoe. Hi, Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide mic here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scene during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studio. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that gate are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of a murder, where the body was found. Now on the day of the murder, October 15, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then, after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to the Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. Time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found launched in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
Should I listen to the whole thing again? Yeah, skip it. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. The spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Oh. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is... what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed, just call me Grandma.
Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of a trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
When the old bag, dearie. So just call me grandma. Even when I was young, still the other children would make fun, believe it, but blah 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 blah.
Objection! I object to the witness talk to this. Okej. Interesujące. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rumbling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony. No, the witness was sustained at station at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, sir, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone will have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness accounts.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the station.
Okay. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okej, no to przyciśnijmy ją znowu na każdym zdaniu. Hold it. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to could go into the studio, nie station.
Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You'd need an employee keycard. Keycard to get in.
Right, the card key that I have. So, what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studio when you arrived at the gas station?
Poor old Hammer.
Okay. A room through.
They were working out a scene between the steel samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there after noon?
I
had some errands to run. What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the gas station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years.
Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up god duty. Not a bad idea. Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer?
No.
He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the gas station.
Tell us what happened next. Oh, Jesus. So you're watching the whole time, no breaks, not even a second.
Of course, I am a professional, you know? Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the gas station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and the donuts at the same time. With
Snipper Whopper. Snipper Whopper? Old windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon, the whole time, very well. What did you see? Te oczy.
How did you know that?
I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Poor Detective Gumshoe getting ratted out by a security guard. Two, you're sure?
Sure as spirit.
Well, who was that man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in bunch. I'll tell you who it was.
Power Star. So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again, it was him.
Okej. Skąd możesz być taka pewna, że widziałaś jego? Skoro na zdjęciu jest tylko ktoś w stroju tego samuraja. Let me get this straight, Mrs. Oldbug. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. Witam pana Tokusaka. Hello, my precious, my dearie. What is it exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, the defender of the Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldback, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course, didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't! Jak tam? Dobrze. Szczęśliwego nowego, tak w ogóle. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. The?
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Powers, do you?
Noisy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Eh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so noisy? You should be ashamed, all of you.
Nawzajem, dziękuję.
Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Okej, kolejny test, kolejne zeznanie. Kurde, co mi się nagrzewa? Morda mi się drze, nie wiem dlaczego.
I never saw anything I don't mean, you mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg, see clearly as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Zrobiłeś mnie w Godhood? Tam się da zrobić... że zrobiłeś mnie jako bóstwo, tak? O to ci chodzi. Ciekawe. Jakie mam te umiejętności jako Bóg.
Whippersnapper.
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. You of today, always winning about each other, is enough to make blah 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 blah.
Mr. Wright, please, for our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate. And me!
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing, just observing.
What about the assistant?
She was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through there. Trip and fall.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai, what a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You help make it better.
I kissed it where it hurt.
Okay. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, yeah? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Power's uncle.
You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props.
He broke a prop. Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear, the murder weapon.
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. The murder weapon, a break in the shaft has been mended with the duct tape. Okay? Widać nawet, że tam jest taśma. Was Mr. Power's uncle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Does the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot, okay? I think we had enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where is this steel samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes? And it's clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Object, wait and see what happens. Wait and see what happens. I think I'll wait and see where this goes. I suppose since there weren't any additional crew members of the studio that day, it's quite likely that it was the defendant inside that costume. I see no problem with this evidence. Most perceptive, Your Honor. He still doesn't seem that convinced to me, I hope. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Witness account count.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before there was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
Okay. Internet ma czkawkę. So, if no one else went to the studio, then it will have to be this steel samurai who did this. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Coś jest bardzo nie tak, jak chodzi o mój internet, bo tracę wszystkie klatki, które są. Okej. Wygląda na to, że się uspokoiło. Zobaczymy. How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I give donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
Okej, wygląda na to, że się uspokoił internet, ale... Dobra, zobaczymy. I see. Detective Gunn should share his fellow officers' fondness for donuts.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Miss Will Powers.
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite sunny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking, right? What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before one? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention,
if they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let them have it, E.G. boy.
E.G. boy. E.G. boy. Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbag have a way of skipping over important details after all. Działa i żyje? No, zobaczymy na jak długo. Wygląda na to, że chyba rodzice coś oglądają na internecie, więc przykawki internetu mogą być często. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps.
Time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m.
Tak, to już wiemy. How do you know that?
Eh? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret ball, he told me everything.
I see. Detective Gumshoe shared his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. Nobody suspicious looking past bar. Nobody suspicious looking, right.
No one else went there.
No, to już było. Co my możemy zaprezentować i gdzie w takim razie? A co jeśli ktoś był w studiu drugim? Wtedy mógł wejść do studia pierwszego, nie przechodząc przez bramę. Tylko skąd miał kostium? Time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Dobra, zróbmy save'a. I będziemy próbować. He's dragging one leg. Ale to jest zdjęcie drugie. A gdzie jest zdjęcie pierwsze? No, zgasła muzyka. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, here, Sonny.
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Alright, anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Ah, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo there are printed the words October 15, 2 p.m, photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 on October 15. Really, Sonny.
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
Rub.
Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence showed that not one but two people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
Eh? What's your mouth, whippersnapper? The only person I saw that day was me, Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means two people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. EG boy, help!
EG boy! Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I can't.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too.
The fuck?
Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the two samurai.
Yeah, well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
Sir, I see. Your testimony, please. The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldback, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sadie. I only just remember it.
Right, anyway. Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Okej, co było na tym zdjęciu, które wyrzuciłaś w takim razie? Another job.
That's right. I check out the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all of the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes, but these computers are just so frustrating.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part? This is murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Still samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about their hair from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Psst. Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The gate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain.
I told you there were freaks. Oh,
And?
they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids! So on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
what? Order, order. Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studio that day. One was the steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Yes, well, we see his type there every day. You can't stop him, catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. 18 października, 11:08. Mr. Powers?
Yes.
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio.
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So, who was the steel samurai in the security photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are you going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could convincingly have done this.
Right.
And I'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. No. Teraz skrótem z Godhood. Naszą boginią jest Mejona, kobieta o złotej sukni. Na głowie ma hełm z indygo, piórami w kształcie dziuba ptaka, na piersiach skorupki, a nogi zakrywają jej spódnica. Trzyma nad dłonią kroplę wody związaną z cnotą głównej bogini, czyli czystość. Drugą cnotą jest pokój. Tradycją są pogrzebowe rytuały. Organizm wierzy... Nie organizm. Orianizm. W Orianizm wierzy 1639 Oriamów w 23 regionach. Aktualny poziom to większy kult. Nieźle. Tylko czemu jestem kobietą?
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sign like that.
Sniff.
Rub.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The only person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagree with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. May ona ładnie brzmiała? Aha.
Other, interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind, however. Be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Alright, great, as if the stakes weren't high enough.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder?
The assistant girl, the grade school boy, the security lady. The security lady, bo wiedziała, że Powers ma skręconą kostkę. It was the security lady wearing the old bag. The steel samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady old bag.
What? Whippersnapper.
Order, order. Is this true, old bag?
Old bag.
Oldberg, that's Miss Oldberg to you.
Miss Oldbeck was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see! Oh! Excellent deductive reasoning. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right there! Sherlock Holmes too, baby. Huh? That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pronounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objection at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, I think I did it, is that it? Easy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
E.G. boy. What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this to the hall away. Maybe now's my chance to take this the hall away. The fuck? Press further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubts on Miss Oldbeck's action on that day. But I would why would I do something so horrible to poor Palmer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your eldest day, whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Sam mam przyznać, że Mejona brzmi ładnie. Nie wiem, nigdy nie myślałem o sobie jako o kobiecie. Nie brzydkie, nie powiem. Pasuje, więc powiedzmy, że brzmi ładnie. The murder weapon, a break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. He's dragging one leg. Card key for studio employee grants entry into Studio One. Czyżby to była ta karta? Bo bez tego by nie mógł, nawet ten chłopiec by nie mógł bez tej karty wejść do studia. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio One. However, you need a card key to enter Studio One. How could a boy with no formal relations to the studio have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
Meh.
The windbag speechless. This has to be a first. Very well. Yep. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy... What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. This is all. The court is adjourned. Yep.
Wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking!
Great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is it all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed.
Global Studio wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bark. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. So you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I heard about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people in the studio.
Kto dokładnie? Who are those people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
Director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course!
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
In the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Phoenix, przecież patrzyłeś na tą cholerną mapę. Sam widziałeś, że jest drugie studio.
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You got through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I have already asked all my questions, but... Continue.
They said they had nothing to do with it, see?
Skończyłeś grę Mejoną? Gratuluję. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
Czyli przekupili cię. So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I asked all the questions I have to ask. Gra mi sugeruje, że zadaliśmy wszystkie pytania. Dobrze. Take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studio on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, there have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. Yep. The court acknowledges the defense points. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbeck, and more information about the other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. This is all. This court is adjourned. Yep. Cóż, udało nam się ugrać jeszcze jeden dzień.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Oh, should I sniff? We'll be going down to the studio to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was that stole samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kinda sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there. With or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Sniff.
To be continued. I w sumie idealnie, bo skończy się odcinek. No, chcę zapisać. Ostatnią cechą religii, którą badałeś, było głębokie rozumowanie myśli. Aha. Interesujące.